What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Samson, and in today's video we're going to be installing this master cylinder on this C5 Corvette. Now, for many of you who may watch the previous videos, we did go ahead and replace the slave cylinder. Had to take the whole torque tube and everything down, and while we replaced it, it did end up functioning a lot better. Before, we weren't able to get any pedal at all. Now with the new slave cylinder, we are able to get some pedal. However, whenever you press the pedal in slow, it does not want to engage the slave. However, whenever you press it in fast, the slave cylinder fully engages. So figure I'll just go ahead and replace all of the clutch assembly. Slave cylinder has been replaced, and then we're going to go ahead and replace this master cylinder. We're going to have to take off this front wheel, walk you guys through the process. A lot of guys do the tick performance upgrade with this, but we just want to stick it with OEM just so we can get this car back up and running. Like I mentioned, in order to do that, we're going to have to take off this front wheel. Then we're going to have to take off these I believe 7mm bolts right here to take off this paneling to actually get to the master cylinder. We're gonna have to go inside the car, take off the actual clip that holds this onto the clutch pedal, and we might have to take off the dead pedal as well. So I'll bring you guys around with me on that journey. But if it's the type of content that you like, the car builds, the fixes, the car shows, the reviews, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. But just like that, guys, let's get into it. Most of these Corvettes, depending on your style, the wheel does come with this little cover that goes over the lug nuts. All you got to do is undo that cover because it is threaded onto the actual lug nut itself, and they'll pop right off. Now with the wheel removed, we do have a series of 7mm bolts. They should come out fairly easily. Again, trying to do this with one hand just so I can show you guys. One of them drop right there. Nice. Ready, and then I think we have one or two underneath the car as well. Yep, here's one right here. See if I can reach this bad boy. And here is another one. It is one more right here. I saw it as soon as I said take this thing out. There we go. And as you can see, once that panel is removed, that now gives you access to be able to reach your master cylinder. There's a lot of spiders in here. So what we're gonna go and do, guys, is go inside the car and disconnect this from the clutch. There was a little panel. This is the panel right here. Sits up under the dash right here where the clutch and everything is. And this panel does have two pins, one right there, one right there holding it in. Then it has a third metal pin that's down here, right here. And that metal pin is pretty difficult to get off. This is what it looks like. It has little teeth on it that connect to this little metal shaft right here that you guys can see. And so you might have a little bit of difficult time getting it off. All I did was try to loosen up those teeth from that metal shaft a little bit and then pry it off with this pry tool right here. Next thing we got to do is go ahead and take the clutch off of the pedal right here. You can see there is the connection for it. So we're going to go ahead and try to get a screwdriver, pop that right off. And see, with this little clip disconnected, all this does, this slides over the ball on the clutch pedal, and then you push it on, and then it clips onto the edge of that ball just like this. So if you just lift this piece up and push back, you should be able to lift it up off the edge of that ball, push back to this rounder open end, and then it should pop off. Now you can see we do have the master cylinder off of the pedal. Now all we got to do is slide out here to the outside, grab this, and we should be able to twist it counterclockwise and get it out. Then I'm going to have to go up to the top, undo the reservoir bolts, undo the connection that's down here for the clutch and master cylinder connection, and then this thing should pop out. All right, as y'all can see, I disconnected the two clips that hold in the reservoir. Just got it dangling out here right now. So now twist this counterclockwise, and you can see it starts coming out. Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit of maneuvering to do. I might not show all of it, but right here in the back where you can see the actual metal portion, but have to do that a little bit maneuvering over some lines and stuff. All right, guys, and after much maneuvering, you can see we do have the old master cylinder out. It does still have a bunch of fluid in here from where we bleeded it, but one thing I noticed about this new one is it does have this nipple on the end. Now, I know that you can get some of these what they call pre-filled. I'm not sure if this one is pre-filled or not. As you can see, it is a GM product, but we'll have to see. I might not be able to film all of the install, but basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to come up through here. We do have a hard line connected to a steel braided line, so we're gonna try to maneuver that up and over this frame and through this little portion over here that it sits in. As you can see, that did work for the most part. Did have to do a little bit of prying, but I was able to get it to go in within probably about 10 or 15 seconds. And so one thing that I know that we're gonna need to do is actually move this up and over that line so it sits like that. And then we need to go to the top, see if we can find that line, which there it is right here. And we're gonna try to get that line to swing over to this side. So I actually ended up checking the master cylinder, and this is a full or pre-filled master cylinder, which is why they had the nipple on it. Most of the time, if you get a master cylinder, it has a little nipple on the end like this. Most of the time, it's gonna be pre-filled, at least for these Corvettes, from what I've been reading on the forums. But as you can see, up underneath here, we do have our connection right there. The slave cylinder came from some OEM Corvette site. I can't remember the name of it, but it is an OEM slave cylinder. It did come with a little black clip that you can use instead of using that little quick disconnect. And then, like I mentioned over here, you can see where the new slave cylinder is in. All I had to do was just push this into the firewall. You do have to orient it a certain way. And then I had to twist it clockwise in order to make it basically screw into or clip into the clutch pedal assembly on the inside. Then, of course, went on the inside and put the little rubber bushing on the clutch pedal nipple, put that clip back on to hold it, and we should be good to go. It does have pedal. Everything is disengaging whenever you look at the actual clutch underneath the car. It is disengaging, so that's good to go. Last thing we got to do, put all of the covering back on. Go ahead and put the wheels back on, check and make sure that we have all the clips in place, nothing's pinching, and then we should be able to get this thing started, get it back on the ground, and try to take it for a little test drive. As you guys can see, the master cylinder is out. The new one is in. Did go ahead and test it, made sure that it works. The car does have 100% clutch now. The only thing that's different from the master cylinder that's in there right now and this one is I noticed that in order for you to get the clutch switch to work, which is basically the switch that ends up getting pushed in whenever you have the clutch fully depressed, in order for you to get that to work, to actually be able to crank the car up, you do have to push it in a little bit harder for the switch to be able to actually get fully depressed. But good old master cylinder, quick 30-minute install, not bad at all, and you guys should be able to do it. But if this is the type of content you guys like, the fixer-uppers, the car reviews, the shows, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of this stuff, guys. You know that we still have the Camaro coming up, so if you're excited about that like I am, make sure that you guys sub. And until then, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.